Ang bagong mutation ay nakadadagdag sa kakayahan ng virus na maka-infect ng human at animal cells. Current evidence suggests 70% higher transmissibility o ika nga, mas nakakahawa ito talaga.
British health experts explained that the mutations in the spike protein of the virus make it more infectious. They note, however, that there is currently no evidence showing that it also causes more severe condition. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says Britain's genome experts continue to monitor and study the variant. Over here in the Philippines, some health experts say mutations can also cause the virus to become less harmful.
Hindi lahat ng mutations are ganito na nagiging mas transmissible. In fact, most of the mutations are either neutral, walang ginagawa sa virus, or in fact, in some cases, nagiging less virulent.
Salvana also explains that mutations don't lessen the effects of a COVID-19 vaccine in the body of a patient. The country's Food and Drug Administration is confident in the efficacy of shots, such as the one developed by Pfizer. The FDA is currently evaluating the application of the US-based firm for an emergency use authorization in the Philippines.
The vaccine naman kasi is not designed for a particular variant. It's designed to act against the coronavirus 2019 virus, no. So hindi naman variant specific.
Despite the mutations, experts maintain that the primary mode of transmission of the virus is still through respiratory droplets. The health department insists that the situation is still manageable, noting that we have already encountered a COVID-19 variant before.
Ganun din yan, yung nagkaroon tayo ng mutation to D614G. That was also a much faster transmissibility, no? But the virulence mukhang neutral, hindi siya nagbago. So hopefully that trend will continue, but it still, of course, warrants carefulness on our part.
Interior Secretary Eduardo Año assures President Duterte that current measures in place are effective enough. These include the extension of ban on flights from the UK for 2 more weeks after December 31. Duterte on Saturday warned of another lockdown in the country due to the emergence of a new COVID-19 variant. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
The Presidential Security Group has confirmed that it administered a COVID-19 vaccine among its personnel. Commander Jesus Durante says the PSG needs to ensure that they themselves are not a threat to President Duterte's health. Durante explains that it wasn't done for personal agenda, but for the group's mission to protect the chief executive. The Armed Forces of the Philippines clarifies that it has not ordered any vaccinations for its personnel. In today's Laging Handa briefing, AFP spokesperson Major General Edgar Arevalo said that they're now verifying claims on the matter. That's in reaction to the remarks of President Duterte, who said that some AFP staff have been inoculated with shots from China's Sinopharm.
Wala pong AFP sanction na inoculation o pagbabakuna sa mga miyembro ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. Given that information, patuloy po nating i-validate yung tungkol po dyan sa napabalita at sinabi po niya ng ating Pangulo.
That's on top of the statement of Palace spokesperson Harry Roque, who has defended the armed forces for supposedly receiving the vaccines. In his briefing today, the Palace mouthpiece said it's not illegal as long as the shots were not commercially distributed.
Hindi naman po yan makakarating sa sundalo kung walang go signal ng mga commanders. And I understand naman this is voluntary, wala pong sapilitan. Hindi ko po alam kung government sanction, it's a personal decision.
In a Radyo 5 interview, Food and Drug Administration Director General Eric Domingo reiterated that no COVID-19 shots have been given a go signal in the Philippines. He warned of charges against those who will be proven to have administered unregulated vaccines.
Ang interesado po ako, hulihin kung sino yung nagdi-distribute, nagbebenta, dahil bawal po yan. At kung sino ang doktor na nag-i-iniksyon ng unregistered po na produkto. No? Ito po ang mga may pananagutan sa amin sa FDA.
The Food and Drug Administration says China's Sinovac has yet to apply for emergency use authorization in the Philippines. FDA Director Eric Domingo tells Radyo 5 that the company will undergo a more stringent regulatory process in the Philippines, since Sinovac has yet to secure an EUA in other countries. Data on the vaccine's efficacy rate are also yet to be released. In the same program, Domingo said experts will begin reviewing the emergency use application of Pfizer. The U.S. pharmaceutical firm was the first to apply for an EUA in the country. As for AstraZeneca, the British drug maker is preparing to submit its application, as its bids for emergency use in the UK and the US are still underway. We'll have more stories after this short break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Fewer passengers are seen at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport following the extension of the travel ban on all flights from the UK. To give us the latest, we have Ria Fernandez. She's reporting to us live from NAIA Terminal 3. Ria, good afternoon. Tell us what you're seeing.
Charles, stricter health protocols are in place here at the Ninoy International Airport following reports of a more serious variant of COVID-19 in the UK and other affected countries. Passengers are frequently reminded to properly wear their face masks and face shields, as well as observe physical distancing. There are also hand-washing areas in public spaces here. For contact tracing efforts, passengers are required to download the Trace app before entering terminals. Noticeably, there are fewer people in the airport compared to the same period in the previous years. No passengers are expected to arrive at the NAIA Terminal 1 within the day after airlines abroad canceled their flights due to the virus scare. President Duterte earlier extended the validity of the travel ban from passengers coming from the UK for 2 weeks to prevent the new strain from coming to the Philippines. But according to the president, Filipinos are exempted from the order. The travel restriction also does not include flights to the UK as well as other countries that have detected the new strain. Despite the new variant, some OFWs we spoke to brushed aside fears as they need to earn money to provide for their families. Nevertheless, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III has recommended a mandatory 14-day quarantine period at the New Clark City for travelers arriving from countries that have detected the variant. Charles, Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara has also assured the public that the Immigration Bureau has enough manpower for intensified border control. This comes as President Duterte feared that there might not be enough employees manning the airport since there are a lot that have been dismissed due to corruption issues. Charles?
Right, Ria, are there any new safety measures aside from those that are already in place here at the airport?
Charles, when we spoke to the officials of the Manila International Airport Authority, they said that they are implementing the same protocols that have been in place when the COVID-19 entered the Philippines. I just want to add, from the many things that we mentioned during our report earlier, the other protocols that they have been implementing or doing here at NAIA is one, the continuous and regular disinfection, especially in common places like the waiting areas at the boarding gates. And of course, passengers need to present a negative swab test results before they will be allowed to fly. Charles?
Right, Ria, for those passengers who are required to isolate in quarantine facilities, can they do this in other places? Does it have to be in New Clark City?
Charles, if we are speaking about the old COVID-19, I believe there are hotels that have been accredited for isolation of passengers. So yes, hotels can be used. The hotels that are accredited can be used for isolation. But I think the New Clark City, for the new variant of COVID-19, it's dedicated for that purpose. Until further notice, probably the government will be adding more facilities that can serve as isolation areas of passengers from NAIA and other airports. Charles?
Right, thank you, Ria. That was Ria Fernandez reporting live from NAIA. The national government is calling on LGUs to ramp up efforts against COVID-19, especially now that a new variant has been discovered. Let's get more details from Romel Lopez. He's reporting live from Mandaluyong. Romel, what have the local executives done so far?
Yes, Charles, several local government officials say that they will impose stricter protocols against COVID-19, but some of them says that reverting to localized lockdown is still out of the picture out of this moment. Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte says that she is much aware of the new COVID-19 variant, but another lockdown is still premature. Belmonte notes, however, that they are now bracing for the possible surge of infections after the holiday season. Over in Barangay San Isidro in Parañaque City, Chairman Noel Haplos has been following the new memorandum in the city. In response to Duterte's order, the city now tasks all barangay captains in the city to impose a stricter implementation of minimum health protocols. This includes contact tracing among balikbayans. Aside from that, locals and visitors in Barangay San Isidro who traveled outside Parañaque City will be required to undergo 2 weeks of quarantine unless they present a recent negative swab test result. Let's hear more from Barangay Chairman Haplos.
Hindi po pwedeng dumiretso sa sa iyong tahanan sapagkat kahit kung nasa gate na po kayo ng inyong subdivision o nasa labas kayo, kayo po ay i-repair sa amin at i-report kayo, didiretso po namin kayo sa isolation.
Charles, over the weekend, President Duterte reiterated the call for LGUs to strictly implement measures against the virus. Duterte warned that those who cannot execute this should just move aside and let others do the job. Charles?
Thank you, Romel Lopez, reporting live from Mandaluyong City. The Health Department reports more than 700 new COVID-19 cases on Monday. That's the lowest single-day tally since July 14. This brings the total caseload to over 470,000, of which more than 22,000 are considered active. The decline in cases comes as fewer people got tested during the holidays. That's according to the Department of Health. 15 more people died due to the virus, pushing the death toll to over 9,100. Total recoveries now stand at around 438,000, with 100 more patients recovering over the past 24 hours. President Duterte is expected to sign the 4.5 trillion peso national budget later today. Spokesperson Harry Roque earlier said that Duterte will veto certain items in the proposed budget, but did not give any specifics. Roque added that the chief executive may also approve the bill extending the effectivity of the Bayanihan 2 law. With this, the remaining funding over the COVID-19 measure can be utilized after December 19, 2020. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.